Hiya, welcome. Happy Tuesday do day. Thank you if you're just tuning in live. How you doing? Do drop a wee comment in the live chat. Let us know how your week's going, how it's starting, right? The week really starts on Tuesday do day, right? Forget about Monday. Monday moon day. We're all still asleep on Monday, right? But yes, welcome if you are just tuning in. It's lovely to see you. It is the afternoon here in London, UK. And I thought I'd come on and do a little bit of a video that I haven't done for a long time. And those of you who've been with me for a wee while might know that I did this Howay Hermes sort of series. I did a couple episodes specifically on Hermes or Mercury and the transit. So when it was going direct, when it was going retrograde, and some other bits and bobs. So this little video is going to be for you, or this live stream as well for those watching live is for you. If you don't know me, I'm Hinny. I am an astrologer and tarot reader. If you'd like a reading with me, you can check out the description below later. I'm going to leave my details there for you, for those who are interested. I do like full birth chart readings. I do tarot readings. I do astro tarot readings. I do transit reports, so whatever you fancy, it can probably help you with that. And you can check out my website at hinnyhigh.com to see what others say about me on my testimonials page. Hiya, if you're just tuning in, this is going to be another episode of my Howay Hermes sort of series on Hermes or Mercury. And tomorrow then, on November 4th, 2020, we have Mercury going direct. It's stationing around about now, actually, and then it's going to go officially direct on the 4th, so tomorrow. And that's going to be in Libra, the cardinal air sign of Libra. And so I want you to let me know what you have in Libra in your birth chart, especially if you have something at or very close to 25 degrees of Libra, because this Mercury going direct is especially going to be significant for you. And probably around about now, you're feeling the effects. And so Hermes is all about the mind. Hermes is all about messages. Hermes is all about transport and flitting here and there and everywhere, and teleportation and telecommunication and telepathy and all of it. It's a very quick, very tricky sort of archetype that we're dealing with here. And so if you have natal placements here, something is going to happen, okay? And it might be something very mental for you, or it might have something to do with synchronicities for you. It might have something to do with transport, travel, movement for you. So again, let me know if you have anything at 25 degrees Libra in your own birth chart, because this Mercury going direct is very significant, okay? So hi, if you're just tuning in to the live stream, do leave a comment. Let us know who you are and how you're doing on this Tuesday do day. And this video will be up later for those who can't make the stream, as you can watch it back once it eventually gets on to the channel. So let's start with the good things about this Mercury going direct and what it might mean for all of us collectively, generally. And so remember, this is Mercury. Mercury is still retrograde officially in Libra, right? Which was the cardinal air sign. And so that might have meant, for example, going back on big decisions that you made, especially in relation to relationships. So relating to your partner, whether that's business partner, romance partner, whatever, or relating just to others in general. This is what Libra is all about. It's the air sign, it's the communicative, relational sign that is all about the other and understanding other perspectives, other sides, and negotiating, right? And peace and all that jazz. And so during the Mercury retrograde, you might have found that you have been going back yourself on certain decisions or certain thoughts, certain negotiations. And Libra is, of course, all about the negotiation of contracts. And we're in Scorpio season now. So the season of contracts and bonds as well. So especially for a lot of us, we've been going, hiya, how you doing? So especially for a lot of us during the Mercury retrograde, we've been going back on contracts even. So contracts we've made, again, with a loved one. It could be a partner, someone you're dating, or a contract. Even, Mercury retrograde, your exes come back sometimes. They do. They drop you a message. They slide into your DMs sometimes during the Mercury retrogrades, or any retrograde. But also, you might have been going back on contracts with like a business, a phone contract, for example. That's a typical thing that you might go back over and revise. Your house, your flat, your apartment contract, contracts that have been very collaborative business-wise with other people. So during the Mercury retrograde in Libra, that might have been what you've been going back on. So now, anyway, we're going direct. We're about to go direct tomorrow officially. Just keep in mind, though, that just because Mercury goes direct on the 4th doesn't mean that exactly on the 4th all your problems are resolved. No, baby. The planets take a little bit of time. For Mercury, it's like about up to a week-ish for the retrograde energy to completely have fizzled out. So do keep that in mind. It's not magically overnight. It's going to take some time. And for some people, it's harder than others. It all depends on what Mercury is doing in your own chart as well. But yes, let's start with the good things for this Mercury going direct. This is going to be the start for a lot of us of getting our heads screwed back on. Okay, so whenever Mercury is retrograde, we do get this sense of our head getting a bit loose and things going a bit array. Okay, and the typical Mercury retrograde things like, computers crash, traffic incidents, things cancelled, all that kind of thing happens during typical Mercury retrograde, but in the sense of Libra, because that's where it's been. So in the sense of your relationships and to who and what you actually relate to, and even in senses of love and peace and justice as well. That's all very Libran shiz. And so you might have felt like your head was really loose relating to those things. Hiya, Ada, how you doing? Nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in the live. Let me know if you do know your own birth chart. Let me know where you have 25 degrees Libra. If you have any planets there natally, then this Mercury going direct is very significant for you. But yes, happy Tuesday due day if you are tuning in. So yeah, we're going to start again, screwing our heads back on, basically, and especially relationally, so in terms of our relationships. So if you've been having arguments or disagreements or tension in terms of contracts, in terms of your relationships, then it's going to start to get back to normal now, or start to get back to a harmonious space now, or energy, because Libra is about harmony and balance, right? So it's going to start to get balanced and more lovely and more loving as well, because Libra is Venus ruled. Libra deals with love and beauty and peace and balance and all these great things, right? And so this is also going to mark the return of harmonious give and take. So you might have noticed for some of you during the Mercury retrograde, you've been giving too much in a relationship, or you've been taking too much in a relationship, or a bit of both. Libra in the 6th house. Ooh, okay, so that's like your work. When you go to work, Ada, when you are at work, when you're doing tasks and all that jazz, or your health even, you're channeling all that Libran energy just naturally. So yes, this return of harmony. Okay, this return of harmony. If you can't remember, don't worry. You can have a look later. You can look at your birth chart or calculate your birth chart. I recommend astrotheme.com. For those of you who haven't calculated your chart yet, you can do it on there for free. Yes, rake it out. If you've got it already, rake it out. It's there, it's there somewhere. And Libra season and Scorpio season, it's a good time to sort of read as well. It's a good time to read and to dive into things and to dive into things like your natal chart, your astrology, stuff like that. It's a great time to just be on your own and really dive. But yes, return of harmonious give and take. So again, if you've been in any sort of imbalanced relationships, hopefully it's going to start to get more balanced for you moving forward from November 4th. And your head, your mental health, your clarity, communication, the messages are going to be so much clearer for you. It's going to start to tick properly for you. And yet again, harmony. Libra's about harmony. So the harmony, the love, the romance, the aesthetics, the beautiful things coming back to these relationships. Okay. Or if we're talking about like business contracts or work agreements, it's like justice is more served now and balance is returned in those senses. Or, tensions with bosses or colleagues, for example, can start to be restored from tomorrow, the 4th of November. Now, this time can also, when Mercury Hermes goes direct, it starts us off tomorrow on the 4th with this really nice trine. And if you haven't already, I recommend you check out my recent video on November astrology for 2020, because in that video, I go day by day and I talk a little bit about the main sort of transits for every day. And you can look at the timestamps below in that video, and you can find the specific week as well. If you just want to skip to the week of November and get all the transit reports, you can do that. But in that video, I do talk about on the 4th, there is this trine. Okay, and trines are nice. They're like magical moments. It's where it's all there, and it's all there for us to so easily take advantage of for our benefit, for our growth, for our magic and our happiness, and all that fun jazz. Trines are great. But trines also represent where we might be lazy, or we might take that magic for granted. We might think it's just going to be there forever, or that moment, that opportunity is going to be there forever. But oftentimes it's not. And like this one on the 4th, this trine is very quick, very brief, because this trine is it's Mercury in Libra going direct, remember, and then it's trining the moon, which is going to be in Gemini. So we have trines are always in the same sign, well, usually in the same sign, and we have two air signs, Libra and Gemini, trining the magic, mixing of their two magics together. But it's the moon, and the moon moves incredibly quickly. And so within a few hours on the 4th, the trine will dissipate and be gone. So you've got to take it by the reins, okay, on the 4th tomorrow, when you're feeling the magic of where relationships, so Libra relationships and the harmony of relationships meets Gemini energy, which is like really being able to understand each other and relate to each other, and embracing curious energy and intriguing energy, and embracing anything also where you can help someone solve a problem, because Gemini is very, very quick thinking and very, very clever. And so you might find for some of you that tomorrow, November 4th, is a great day to help your partner, or to be helped by your partner with something that needs to be figured out. Okay, or it could be a friend, it could be a client, and it just feels so magical and so easy, and it probably involves one of your talents, okay, or one of your special powers to help, or you're using, or you're being gifted something from their side, their powers, their magic. Okay, so look out for that sort of energy or opportunity on the 4th. So we are also starting to get very intuitive on the 4th, or the 4th is a great day to get intuitive, because Mercury and the moon are both about intuition and cleverness and really fast reception of information. So tomorrow's going to be a fantastic day also for anyone who does tarot, or anyone who is trying to tune in to the answers, anyone who is trying to figure things out. Okay, it's a great day tomorrow. The energy is very strong, very magical, and very easy to channel. Now, what else can Hermes going direct mean for us then? Well, romance, because this is Libra, this is Venus ruled Libra. So romance and appreciation as well starts to return. So you might have been feeling during the Mercury retrograde that romance is a bit dead for some of you, or that you're not appreciated for things that you do in your relationships, or that you are not the one. Because, we do the good, the bad, and the ugly on my channel, right? So maybe you're not the one, okay, who's appreciating other people's efforts, or your partner. So we also get the reintroduction of all of this, so appreciation and romance. So really do start from tomorrow. Yes, romance. Yes. Start to think about how you can just do things, because Mercury loves to do things, little actions, or send little messages, little memes, how you can do these little things that are cute, that are fun, kind of creative, um, clever, but are very communicative. How you can do these things that show your romance, if we're talking about your partners, okay, that show your love for your partner. Is there cards that you could write, little, flowery letter that you could write maybe, or a little speech or a little song you could write and perform for them? Because Libra also deals with the arts, the fine arts, the refined things in life. So maybe it's also something tasty, delicious, that also looks really good and fancy. And you put your fancy energies into it. Maybe something like that. From the 4th, you start to do more, and or you start to receive more from your partner, from your others, family, and so on. The person you like is a Libra, Ada. Ooh. Well, let me tell you about the Libras. The Libras as well from the 4th, or anyone who's like Libra Sun, Libra Rising especially, they're going to become much more talkative, much more communicative, and much more direct with what they think. And it could be good, bad, or ugly, right? They could be stricter in some cases, but the point is that communication is clearer for them, and it's coming out more frequently for them. And it's making more sense for them as well. So if you're a Libra and you're watching this, from November 4th, hopefully your mind starts to clear more. Maybe some of you've had, you got messages during the retrograde from friends or exes, and they were going to meet you, but it never worked out. You were going to go on a date, never worked out. That really is typical during the retrograde. And so what if from the 4th, when Mercury is direct, you realize they still haven't got back to you, or you still never got back to them, and you still didn't meet, probably wasn't meant to be, isn't meant to be right now, okay? It's probably that you need to focus on yourself or something else right now. And communication is key, absolutely. And the air signs or air heavy people, they get this so naturally. And so I feel like Librans especially are going to be so happy from November 4th. And Venus is in Libra right now. Venus is super comfortable in the sign of Libra. So Librans, especially Libra risings, from tomorrow, it's just going to get better for you, especially in the head, mental health wise, messages wise, okay, information wise, gossip wise. It's all just going to get better. Those of you who like gossip, it's going to get more saucy, okay, from the 4th. Pisces Sun, Taurus rising, and Saturn. Oh my gosh, you have so much Jupiter. Wow, in your big 3, so much Jupiter. Wow, and Taurus rising is beautiful. You've got the Earth and Venus rising. That's fantastic. Oh, I love that. And so, you probably be really into this, Ada, like romance and appreciation, returning to all of our conversations and our communications and our messaging. One more thing as well about things that are going to either return or get this big boost. Another thing is judgment. So I mentioned earlier justice as well. Libra is about justice. It's an air sign. It's a cardinal air sign. So it's kind of like a king or a queen, a monarch, okay, a ruler, a reigner of a domain or a map. That's cardinal energy. And so Libra energy can get very decisive, very like, I'm swinging my sword and I'm making a decision. And so you might find that judgment and decisiveness becomes easier for you. Your friends, your family, your partners, things get much more easily judged on. Justice is served as well, much more quickly, much more clearly, much more fairly as well. Libra deals with fairness and decisiveness in general. So Mercury is that archetype. Hermes wants us to think and to move and to get the messages, right? To get the hint. That's Mercury. And in Libra, it's all about decision making. So we're going to start to get clearer answers on anything that you've been wanting to decide on, or anything where you've had options in front of you, but you haven't quite, especially during the retrograde. During the retrograde, you haven't been able to choose. Then from tomorrow, this the decision, the answer, the route, the path is just going to be more clear and or more logical to you as well, because Mercury loves a bit of logic as well. and so does Libra. Yeah, look at your Jupiter. Exactly, look at your Jupiter. Jupiter in the third house. Jupiter in the third house, I would like to think is a very like kind and generous relator to all that is around them, all the people, all the things, whatever that's around them. That's a nice placement. Maybe a lot of siblings as well, or a lot of cousins, or just a lot of people, neighbors around you. That's also what I'm getting for Jupiter in the third house. So yeah, judgment and decisiveness, these energies get a huge boost from tomorrow. So it's all starting to come back if that's something that you've been waiting for. But let's now talk a little bit about the not so great, okay, that this can bring, Mercury going direct in Libra. Now, the first thing I want to mention, and again, you can go for more details to my November 2020 astrology video and get the real nitty gritty. But in general, from tomorrow, this square starts or intensifies. And a square is not like a trine. So trine was the magic. It's just there for you to like take, and it's so easy. Sometimes we're a bit lazy about it, but it's so easy. It's so magical, wonderful, great. But a square is like resistance. It's discomfort. It's tension. It's a challenge. And what I learned from, I remember the Divine Venus, she, in one of her really old videos here on YouTube, she describes squares as actually really good. And I agree with that. I feel that squares are actually good. If you have squares and oppositions in your birth chart, then it's actually a really good thing for you. Maybe not in the moment, but in the long term, it's a good thing for you because it's constantly introducing tension into your life and challenge into your life. And so you're more naturally capable of just jumping onto those challenges, or you're at least more used to them. And so you can roll with the punches a bit more in life as an individual. Whereas some people who have lots of trines or only trines, it's very easy for them to just fall into that trap of letting everything kind of come to them, or wishing or hoping it will, or resting on their laurels. That kind of thing can really happen. But so squares are good. But anyway, collectively, we're getting this square between Mercury in Libra and all those planets in Capricorn. Did you know we still have a lot of planets in Capricorn? Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, they're all direct and they're all in Capricorn. And so this square, then, it's telling me to tell you to watch out what you say. Okay, watch your mouth and also watch what you think. And that can be about other people, about other things, about ideas, concepts, but also about yourself, what you think about yourself. So watch what you say, watch what you think, and watch what you communicate as well. So what you're sending out. The retrograde is going to be over, but you might still slip up here when you send a message or an email, or when you say something in, for example, a business setting or a work setting, or in front of or to an authority figure, because this is all Capricorn sort of energy. Watch what you communicate, because it's possible to offend with this square. It's possible to offend, for example, your boss, okay, or offend someone who really cares a lot about status, reputation, because Mercury is in Libra here, and it's a square energy. So Mercury in Libra might make us want to be too cordial or too harmonious, or even flirtatious in the wrong kind of situation or with the wrong kind of person. Okay, they might just want to get down to business, or they might just be very conservative, or the energy is very like constrained, and here's you trying to like flirt or make things beautiful or focus on the beautiful. But those planets in Capricorn are not having any of that. And this can be in terms of money as well. Money, possessions, you might be called to be more careful, more wise in these realms, and not focus so much on the socializing with your money or spending on your money on beautiful things so much. You might need to avoid that kind of thing, so as to reduce the tension of this collective square. But this square between Hermes in Libra and all those planets in Capricorn, this square does start to fizzle out from November 13th, 2020. So it's, 10 days-ish of this square, and then it starts to really get really weak. And then Mercury is going to be more accepted. Mercury in Libra is going to be more accepted. So the love, the communication of your love, and the spending on Libran things like money, spending on money, like nice things that look good, or spending on socializing events where you can have drinks with friends, that kind of thing. It's going to be more encouraged and less frowned upon after November 13th. Also, then, we have regression to superficial like-for-likeness. And what I mean by that is Mercury direct in Libra in Scorpio season is going to reintroduce these Scorpio season themes of, am I liking, for example, on Instagram, am I liking someone's picture? Hiya, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh my God, we're talking about Mercury in Libra. I love you too. Yes, so what we're talking about now is kind of the less desirable things that Mercury going direct in Libra from tomorrow might bring us. And in Scorpio season, Hermes in Libra is going to keep us having to reflect on, am I liking someone's picture on Instagram because I actually like them, or because I actually like what that picture is representing, or am I just doing it for attention, or am I just doing it to be nice, the fake niceness? Watch out for all of that, because it's coming back once Mercury goes direct. Thank you very much. I love these earrings too. I have so many pairs of them, and I change them. I change the color based on the day, based on where the moon is usually and what season it is. So here we have kind of like, let me take it out and show you more closely. But this is kind of like a red, purpley sort of mix here. It's got the Scorpio seasonal energies. It's got the Tuesday due date energies. And it's Gemini, moon in Gemini today. So I thought I'd put 2 in. Sometimes I just wear 1. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad you like them. I love them as well, especially when it's like sunny outside. Oh, they just sparkle. They just sparkle. I love it. But yes, watch out for that, because like a cherry wine. Yes, like a cherry wine color. Exactly. Oh, I fancy some wine, but I shouldn't. I'm trying to like detox during Scorpio season, but Sagittarius season is on its way. So maybe that's when I'll get some wine. Thank you. Yes, so we need to watch out for going back to that superficial like-for-like sort of energy, where we're just liking someone's picture, for example, just in the hope that they'll like ours, or just to be nice. Because Scorpio season is all about going down to the deep of, do we really like this relationship? Do we really like that person? Are we just with them, or in that space, or in that situation, just for the sake of it, or even just to get something superficial? So Mercury, Hermes is bringing all this back to our minds. And so be careful. You might just get back into those things. And also, it's a big no-no to do that in Scorpio season, because any progress you've made at the beginning of Scorpio season could easily be undone if you start to dip back into all of that, where you're just not being true to yourself. You're not being authentic. And also, it's just exhausting, because all those fake likes and all the fake niceness you give is very karmic. It is. And you're always dipping yourself into the waters of other people who you don't really spiritually want to be with, right? But the more you do that, the more you dip, the more you're going to have to carry moving forward. And it lingers, especially in Scorpio season. This is the season of bonds, tight bonds. So be careful also with who you call into your life, what spirits you call, what spirit. The veil is very thin as well. Be careful what you wish for, because Sagittarius season is on its way as well. And Sag season is all about the big, big, big wish coming true energy. So be really careful. And also Venus, my loves. Venus, as I mentioned before, is in Libra, right? But around November 22nd, right at the beginning of Sag season, Venus just hits Scorpio. And when Venus hits Scorpio, there's going to be much, much, much less of this lovey-dovey, fake niceness, fake likes, superficial like for like sort of energy. And that's going to be good, I think. So because Venus is set to fall actually in Scorpio, just like in Virgo and in Aries. So we're not going to play games anymore once Venus hits Scorpio, but it is going to be Sagittarius season. So it's going to be a really interesting mix of Venus in Scorpio and the Sun in Sagittarius. We're going to get lots of illuminations of the truth because that's Sun in Sagittarius, but we're also going to get Mercury still in Libra, who wants to be nice, but Venus just hit Scorpio. So it's like, no, the vibe is actually truth. The vibe is becoming truth. So we need to vibe with the truth. And we need to, it's Venus in Scorpio is like telling someone the truth with a smile on your face. That's Venus in Scorpio. Or telling someone the truth while you toast with them, while you have a drink with them, while you do pleasant things with them. It's like telling them the truth. Yeah, if you have Venus in Scorpio natally, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. But that's what's going to happen. November 22nd, beginning of Sag season. Venus won't be playing too much of the decorum game. But anyway, we're talking about Hermes now. Okay, back to Hermes. So, as I said, regression to the superficial, like for like. Beware of that. That's in everything. Your chats, your messaging, your emails. Try to keep it real. You don't have to be mean, but try to keep it real, honest, authentic, and concise. Because Libras need to learn. One big Libran lesson that they need to learn is to not waste their time. You know, if you have a lot of Libra in your chart, you need to learn to not take so many prisoners in your life and to just be able to swing that sword. And again, you're not doing it in a mean way. Okay, this is Venus, right? But you're still doing it to make good decisions for yourself so you can continue to lead in your life and that your spirit can continue to grow and experience and not be bogged down by all the things you just say yes to, right? A Libra heavy person, you know what I mean, right? Keep tabs on everything you're saying yes to. Okay, final thing I wanted to say, I'm glad you love it. Final thing I wanted to say is that with Mercury going direct from tomorrow officially, we have another danger, a few dangers. Mercury in Libra, when Hermes is in this cardinal air Venus ruled sign, Hermes is the trickster of the zodiac as well, remember. So Hermes wants basically to play away. Okay, so if you're in a relationship, if you're in a monogamous relationship, committed, be very careful. Because Mercury is direct again, and Mercury wants you to kind of play away sometimes. And the cheating can come. You can be cheated on, you can cheat. Okay. So watch out for that. Single people, if you're single, you can be much more tempted to open up Tinder, to get swiping. You can be much more tempted when Mercury is in Libra to just flirt with anyone and everyone. And sometimes what you'll realize when Mercury is in Libra in Scorpio season, what you realize is that you're communicating in these ways with people and you don't even mean to be flirtatious. But what's going to happen is because you weren't careful enough, you attract someone to you who wants to fall in love with you or wants to sleep with you or whatever. Or even if it's more like on a platonic basis, they start to not leave you alone. So that kind of thing can come. Okay, so be very careful that you keep your conversations in the professional Venusian way. And what I mean is, this is where Mercury can learn from Venus, is in the communications, keep it nice, but keep it snappy as well. And like when you bump into someone on the street and you need to get to work or wherever, and they kind of want to talk a bit longer with you, and inside you're like, baby, I need to get going, right? If it were another planet like Mars or Pluto, you'd be like, I'm going to go now, so you got to go by. But with Venus, it's kind of like you have to learn how the art of politely declining things and the art of smoothly getting out of things. And you need to do this as well, some of you. and learn this Venusian craft of gently pushing away that which is ugly. And it could be physically, literally ugly people or things, but it can also be spiritually ugly things. So things that are going to linger with you. It's Scorpio season. So it's so easy to make bonds with parasitic things or people. So be super careful, please, because you're going to need to spend all of Sag season and then Capricorn season getting rid of them. Okay. Be very careful. And also taking a mile. Mercury, Hermes, and Libra loves to take a mile, because when Libra energy is having too much fun, when we have too much of the Libra going on, when we're at work and a boss or colleague gives us an inch, Libra will take a mile, because Libra is cardinal energy. So, and Hermes is here, the trickster is here. So the trickster's like, oh, that boss just said I can take a day off. Well, let me say this and do this as well, and get the next day off as well. And because that next day is Friday, well, I get 4 whole days off, right? Isn't that lovely? I can go out and spend money and enjoy myself for 4 whole days. It's brilliant. You'll be doing possibly that kind of thing with Mercury going direct in Libra. So taking a mile, and other people can do that to you. So again, take care, please, with who you give your time and your space and your energy to, because if you have business, if you have services for people, please be Libran, be air sign, and cut off at the cut-off time. Don't be like, oh, just 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. No, okay? Your time is very precious, and it's in Scorpio season. Your resources are super precious. Protect them, cherish them, keep them core, and keep on task. Libra North Node, the Sagittarius stellium. Yeah, Libra North Node people, oh my God, you're becoming Librans. You're becoming Librans. You're obsessed with Libran things, justice, okay? Balance, peace, love, the beautiful things, the beautiful people. But be careful with those obsessions. Be careful with what you're chasing, right? Like that dragon, the North and South Node. It's that dragon across your chart. And the North is the head. So it's where you're going. It's what you're chasing. So be careful what you chase, especially in Scorpio season, the spookiest season of the year, the darkest season of the year. So yeah, taking an inch, or rather taking a mile when you give an inch. So if you have clients, customers, be very careful, because yeah, it's also a water season right now, right? And so people are very emotional right now. They can get very attached to you, tell you a sob story, and then you end up spending like 5 more hours than you planned with that someone. Okay, so if you have certain friends who always come to you with like the sob stories and the venting and the emotional breakdown, it's always the same cycle. This is a great time to find a way to stop that cycle, distancing yourself. Again, we're not being mean. Okay, Mercury is in Libra, so we're being nice and gentle about it. But anyway, finding those ways and perfecting that Venusian skill of gently pushing away these ugly things that are only gonna burden you more. Okay, if you're still in Capricorn, if you get to Capricorn season and you still have all these things with you, that climb up the mountain is gonna be like torturous. Okay, so do it now while you can. And one last thing I want to mention before I leave. It's about 40 minutes now, but one more thing I want to mention with Hermes swimming through Libra is that, I'm going direct, is that we're going to be more likely to flirt with darkness. And I mentioned earlier, this can be playing away for some people, so cheating or flirting when you shouldn't be. But more generally, it's just flirting with darkness. So Mercury, Hermes loves the sort of superficiality of things, okay, and the surface, and kind of covering things up with something superficial. And so be careful, and in Scorpio season, right, be careful that you don't get into some relationship or agreement where something dark is going on or something shady is going on, but like there's this facade of nothing's going on, or there's this facade of, oh, it's okay, because it could be something like really corrupt that you get involved in, or really, really mean, like deeply mean. that you get involved in. Like I'm talking like Mean Girls kind of scenes where aesthetically everything is like really beautiful, but it's mean as frig, right? It's mean as frig. It's horrible. And you can leave in these kinds of relationship or agreement or contract, you can leave scars on other people, or you can get scarred for a long time if you're letting yourself get involved in these kind of seemingly sweet, but really mean or insidious sort of energies or spaces or people. So be really careful with like flirting with the darkness as Mercury goes direct from tomorrow. And that's kind of all I had to say about this little Hermes episode. If you want, you can check out my astrology, November astrology 2020 video, where I go through the whole month day by day. And again, in the description is the timestamps, so you can select the week that you want. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to maybe come back and do something. I think, let me just check what my next scheduled thing is. Probably going to come back to talk to you about Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn retrograde in the birth chart, because that was a request video. So if you have Uranus, Neptune, Saturn retrograde in your chart, stay tuned. Okay, hit the notification bell so you get that notification for when that video comes out or when that stream comes out. I quite like these streams because I'm a busy person, so I don't always have time to edit long videos. So I quite like this stream model. If you like it, let me know in the comments, and I'll do more of this streaming. But yeah, my name is Henny. If you're new, please do subscribe. If you like what I do, you can go to hennyhigh.com, check out my services if you fancy a reading. Click testimonials on the website as well, and you can see what other people have said about my work. Alrighty, have a lovely Tuesday do day. Focus on doing the cardinal energy, the decisiveness, okay? And I wish you a great rest of Scorpio season and experience as Mercury goes officially direct tomorrow. Love you all very much. Have a fab week. Mwah. Take care.